Hi, and welcome to our next tutorial for Deneir's Gate, where we're going to check out what is really my personal favorite part of Deneir's Gate here, which is the campaign dashboard. This is the area where we can see everything put together and get a nice overview of where we currently are in the campaign, things that we need to do, what's last happened, what NPCs we're currently working with, and all of those sorts of things. And so if you don't have an active arc, as you see in the top right here, you're not going to see much. And if you try to add anything, you will get a little modal here telling you that you need to create a story arc first, that we need to have an active story arc. Because what's the point of seeing everything about your campaign at any given time? We just kind of want to see what's currently happening, which is the current arc. So if you followed along in the story arc tutorial, then we do have a story arc called Goblin Arrows. And so we'll go ahead and click on that one, and we'll load that up into our dashboard. So as we see here for our dashboard, we can see the arc map that we created in the story arc tutorial. And in that, we can see, hover over and see the pinned quests that we made for it, seeing the Goblin Ambush, the Kragma Hideout, those things. And in case you don't have access to the upload feature, or if you don't feel like uploading any images to represent it, you'll always get this nifty timeline feature as well that show the quests of the arc in order. And whether from the arc map or from the timeline, you can always click on those quests to go ahead and see the overview of the events of the quest, the summary of the quests, as well as change the status. So going back to the arc map here, we'll go ahead and just say that the Goblin Ambush, we've run it. It is complete. It was a success. And we'll go back to here and click on the Kragma Hideout and say that that one is the one that's in progress. So let's go back to the map. And what we see here is immediately a nice effective summary of where we currently are in the arc. We see that the Goblin Ambush is already complete. It is done. And that the Kragma Hideout is what we have in progress. And when we're done with that, we can always click on this. And again, this works from the timeline feature here as well. But we can click on this and change its status to complete or abandoned. Anything that just tells us effectively what happened during this quest. And we have that from a nice overview from our arc map or our timeline. Other things that we can do from the dashboard here is include things in our to-do list, things that we may need to remind ourselves to do. So let's say maybe there was another quest that we wanted to add here. They'll say, remember to add, or we didn't finish making the encounter, right? Or something like that. Finish encounter with Clark. And we'll just go ahead and put that there. And then whenever you're done with your items in your to-do list, you can always just click on the check mark, and it's gone. But we can have that there ready for us as soon as we come back in. We can also add here what NPCs are currently relevant to our arc, and so we have that as a nice overview right here. So here are some of the NPCs that we've created, and we'll go ahead and say that Furdock and yeah, why not? Pranitaras, however we want to say that. These are our relevant ones. So once we just click on them, simply they become active members of our arc. And so we see that right here. And we can always hover over them or our characters to get a quick overview of their name, their class, their level, just a reminder of who it is that we're looking at here. And last but not least, we do have our I'm sorry, not search feature. This is our activity log over on the side here. So we can add once during your campaign, you're taking down notes of an activity log, right? Of things that are happening either with events or characters or dungeons or anything like that. And we can go ahead and add a new log here. Whether the log is directly just related to the arc in general, whether it's related to a specific character or to a specific quest event. So let's go ahead and say that we have one related to our character. And let's say it's relevant to Pietro. So we'll go ahead and click on Pietro there and say he took some of the cursed gold. And save that. And now we have that log here, or that that individual log added to our overall arc log here. And we'll just go ahead and add a few others. This one just has to do with the arc. They killed Clark. Or how about another one for a quest event? So here we get a list of the quests inside our arc. So let's just say in the Kragmaw hideout, in the Cave Mouth event, they dropped their Sacred Dagger and left it behind. That's something important we want to remember. We'll save that and add that there. And so again, we come in to our campaign dashboard and immediately have this information available to us. And the cool thing about these logs as well is that these are things that are also navigated and taggable when we're looking and creating our story arcs. So let's go back into our story arcs real quick and look at our content navigator here. And let's go into our characters and Puyeto, and we want to see any recent updates that we had with him. So we click on logs, and there we go. He took some of the cursed gold. We have that information tagged and related to Puyeto. Or say we had one for the quest event too, right? So story arcs, goblin arrows, any general activity logs, we get them all here, just like we saw on the dashboard. Or if we want to see one specifically with Kragmaw Hideout, at the cave mouth, we can check on the logs there and see the relevant information there. So again, not only do we get this information directly from our dashboard and get that nice summary, but we also get it in our story arc creator and our content navigator so that we can get that information quickly and easily. And that's about our summary, our nice, quick, brief summary of our campaign dashboard. But again, the purpose of this page is to give us that immediate overview of our arc or any past arcs for our campaign, which is especially handy when we take any prolonged breaks. I definitely, with my group, have taken several month-long breaks, and when we have to come back in, I don't remember what the last thing we did at all was, but when we come in and see this in action, we can get that overview very quickly. And that is it for our campaign dashboard tutorial. That's about all there is to it. So if you've been sort of following along with these tutorials in order, then this is the last one. Everything else about that, at least for this series, as we create new features, more tutorials will be available. But hopefully this gives you enough of a good overview showing into the insight of what Deneir's Gate can do. So we thank you for joining us for this journey, and we'll see you next time.